Ruzigarnik, and I wanted to say happy Sunday, but Fedo said happy every day because in Zoroastrian calendar we have beautiful name for every day. So happy every day, happy today. Welcome to you, to all of you, for another Zoroastrian gathering from different part of the world with different time zone. I have to correct it. My name is Purandok Rustamian. The board members of ZSBC and I would like to thank you for being here. And we all learn from Mr. Faribors, his translation about Gatha. I've seen many translation, and thank you to everybody who did try and kind of research for the translation of the Gatha. But to compare with other Gatha's translation and Faribor's translation, I figured out how pleasant Mr. Rahnemun's translation is. It's simple, understandable, and you can apply every day and every moment in our life. I asked Mr. Faribors, how could you do that? So simple and pleasant, this translation. He said, I put word by word, I translate word by word, not interpretation, just word, and arrange them the way it was written in Gatha. So the sentences come forward, come up with a very beautiful, beautiful, pleasant, simple understanding for everybody's translation. We appreciate other people's work to do translation for the Gatha, but the Western people, they have some preset mind to balance their translation with their belief. So it will have influence of their belief to our Gatha. And the beauty of Mr. Rahnemun's translation is doesn't have any influence from anywhere, it's just translation. So I'm very honored and thankful from Mr. Rahnemun that he accepted my invitation and continue to have our Gatha classes. And we all are here to learn from him, listen and learn from him. Before we start, we have few housekeeping rule. Please mute your microphone during the presentation. And this program will be recorded. If you don't like to be in a record, or feel free to turn off your computer, to your not computer, your camera, so you will not be on the screen. Also, there's a chat box. Please write your question on that chat box and keep that question on this subject for today, because we have limited time. So when we speak, and a question and answer should be for today's subject. Our program, we will have a benediction and a prayer. Mr. Ferdows Meta will do the benediction, and after that, Faribors will have his presentation. At the end, we have question and answer. Mr. Ferdows Meta, please have your benediction.
Thank you, Dr. Puran. I am very honored to do this benediction as part of the starting of the program. And I have chosen the benediction today, which is the prayer of Dua Vispa Humata. I chose that because it talks much about knowledge, education, thinking, everything to do with Zarathustra's divine revelation about the human mind and what it needs to do to make this world a better place for all. And since intelligence is coming from education and knowledge, I thought I'd talk about that as part of the benediction prayer. The prayer goes like this: Vispa Humata, Vispa Hokta, Vispa Vrashta, Vaudo Varshta, Vishpa Vishmata, Vispa Zukta, Vispa Duzvahista, Noit Baidio Varshta, Vispa Humata, Vispa Hokta, Vispa Harshta, Vohishtem, Ruhim Ayeta, Vispa Dushmata, Vispa Duzukta, Vispa Duzvarsta, Ajistem, Zaeta. Vispanam cha, Humutanam, Huktanam, Vrashtanam, Vista, Angui, Ayat Hacha, Chitrem, Ashaune. A simple translation that I have found out with Herward Ravasji Idilji Kanga's book on translation of the Corda Vesta, which I've also used to later on present some of the paragraphs that Faribors is going to discuss. And I have those ready also, and they are also from the same book, which is published by the Bombay Parsi Panchayat. So any of my Zoroastrian friends who would be concerned about whether this is done by a Zoroastrian or whether it is published by a Zoroastrian, not to worry. I have stayed with everything from the Zoroastrian side of the literature. So the translation goes as all noble thoughts, all kind words, all good deeds or actions are the result of intelligence through knowledge. All evil thoughts or all unkind words, all bad action are not produced with good intelligence. The result of all noble thoughts, noble words, and noble actions is the best state of existence in the abode of eternal light. The result of all bad thoughts, bad words, and bad actions is the worst state of existence in darkness and woe. This is evident to the righteous and wise through knowledge. Thank you.
Thank you, Ferdows. Thank you so very much. God bless you and God bless all Zoroastrian. May Yahweh Mazda protect all of us around the world. Mr. Rahnamun, floor is yours. Please start your presentation.
Thank you very much. And thank you everybody for coming. And like we had some complaints that we should limit our questions to the Gathas and not hover around other topics. So please let the question be with regard to what we are talking. Thank you. In the last two sessions, I presented a very subtle way how the Gathas have been converted into a Abrahamic worldview, and how we Zoroastrians love it because we are given the honor of being the originators of concepts like heaven and hell, etc. Of course, as a minority, it is easy to survive when you comply with the majority worldview. But now in this age and time, with increase in knowledge, those worldviews are under question by the wise among them, who are moving away from it. I think the time is ripe to do justice to Zarathustra and his teachings. My contention is when you translate the Gathas word by word without moving the words around, it makes complete sense. Then where is the need and what is the reason for translators to move the words around and basically paraphrase it instead of translation? Unless to inject their own thoughts into it. In the last session, we saw how the Amishaspandas are not deities, but steps towards refinement, towards wholeness and perfection, and a progress from generation to generation. That the Gathas of Zarathustra are not prayers, and Zarathustra is not pleading with God or asking questions that are never answered. We also saw repeatedly the necessity to study Asha with a good mind. Otherwise, the Ashem, the knowledge that we derive from Asha, can cause harm. With modern science exploiting Asha at best for commercial purposes, they need more than ever to know what Zarathustra had said 3,759 years ago. Unfortunately, you will not find them in the translations. Today, I will present the proverbial last straw without being cautious. We will see how Yasna 44, which is about creation, has been turned into an answerless question because a straightforward translation is directly the opposite of the Abrahamic or rather Greek belief. Now, first, let's see how the scholars have laid the foundation for that. The first 7 words of every verse of Yasna 44 are the same. And the first word in every verse is tat. This word in Sanskrit means that. And everywhere in the Gatha, it has been translated as death. But in Yasna 44, that has been translated as this by those that are a little more organized, like Dr. Tara Purwala, thereby changing the whole narrative. We will see that shortly. The next word that has been changed is Moivacha, which we still use in Dari language today as Mevaja, and it means I say. In Sanskrit, the word to say is Vakhya, very close to the Avesta. But scholars have translated Moivacha as tell me, while tell in Sanskrit is kat. With these wrong meanings, the first 6, 7 words have been rearranged in the translation to form a question addressed to God. O Ahura Mazda, this do I ask thee, tell me truly. Uh, this changes the whole narrative. Example, today is Sunday. It's a factual statement. The same words can become, is today Sunday? Then the rest of the keywords are arranged to form a sentence of the liking. We will see that in the examples that I'm going to give. The tell me truly also raises the question, does God lie? Why do you have to tell him to tell the truth? Which of course the good lawyers among us do justify. But if these words with the correct meaning are left in the same order, word by word, as in the Avesta language, it makes complete sense. Tattva porse, that you ask. Arish Moivacha, truly I say. Anybody speaking Dari will tell you that Moivacha means I speak, I say. So here you see Zartosh is addressing us, the listeners, not God. So why change that? Because each verse starts with a rhetoric question followed by an answer. But since the answers are not in line with the belief system of the scholars, they have changed the narrative and made it into an answerless question. Scholars tell us that the fact that Zarathustra could think of such question in those days itself is a miracle. Uh, Scholars have gone to the full extent and even changed words or suggested the omission of words, like the word kasna. As you see on page 467 of Taraporwala's book, in the notes on Yasna 44.3, some have changed the word and some have proposed to omit it. And kasna is a word that we use in Persian, we use in Dari, and we even use in Kurdish. And it means, kas means someone, and na means no. So it's no one or nobody. In the last session, we saw how the verse that gives us the maxim, good thoughts, good words, good deeds, has been changed to a question about the origin of creation. Over the years, enough material has been generated to flood the system with misinformation in support of those wrong translations that these translations have become a belief system in itself. Now let's see some of the verses, first word by word translation, and next a regular translation of the same verse by eminent scholar, which Firdaus Mehta will help by reading. As I said, 44 is about creation, and every translator agrees with that, and there is no argument on that, that it is about creation. Option, next slide. So it says, Tattva porse, that you ask. Arash Mohivaja, truly I say, towards creation pay respect, just like we praise with good words. This is, I think, very simple. It doesn't need any change, because it says we are told that it is not enough just to pay respect to creation, to nature. With words, we need to take action. We need to show our deeds. We need to put our money where our mouth is. And how do we do that? It again says in the next three lines, wisdom is a friendly, worthy educator to us. So also to us, Asha as a friend will impart assistance. So use your wisdom and take assistance from nature, Asha, because it's a friend, provided we bring goodness to our thought. If you go with a bad intention, a bad uh, thought towards, you will learn bad things from nature. So use your good mind and use the knowledge that you gain from Asha for good. Now, this is a simple fact. There's no need to jumble it up. I'll read it once again so we get it. That you ask, truly I say, towards creation pay respect, just like we praise with good words. Wisdom is a friendly, worthy educator to us. So also to us, Asha as a friend will impart assistance, provided, that's important, we bring goodness to our thoughts. Firdaus, please, if you could read the translation you had.
Okay,
Change the slide.
this is, you can go to next slide, Upton. So this is Ha 44.1, which is part of the Ustavati Gatha. Do thou tell me truly that which I ask thee, O Aura Mazda. When there is the necessity of prayer of one like thee, then, O Ahura Mazda, it would be better if a friend like thee may teach a friend like me about that prayer for giving help every time, so that with the charm of thy prayer, thy messenger Srausha Yazata may come near us to give intuition of thy help through good thought.
Thank you, Firdaus. If you look at those blue, the words that are marked blue, these are the words that are not in the Avesta language. This has been added. The tell me and the ask me has become the opposite meaning. And the two friends and the good thoughts which are there have been rearranged to show friendship between God and us, while actually it says uh, Asha Fraya, that is friends. Asha as a friend, and the other one was Mazda Fraya, wisdom as is friendly. So it has nothing to do with God and us. It is talking about Asha being friendly. So basically, the whole uh, setup has been changed. The whole uh, idea has been changed. I'll once again read that verse. So while this is on the screen, you can have a look and see how different it is. Truly I say, sorry, that you ask, truly I say, towards creation pay respect, just like we praise with good words. Wisdom is a friendly, worthy educator to us. So also to us, Asha as a friend will impart assistance, provided we bring goodness to our thoughts. very different from what Kangaji, respected Kangaji, has produced. Now we go to the next one, 44.2. Again, it is that you ask, truly I say, in creation, how will life become better than before? What will they achieve who truly strive for good asha? So this is the question. The question is, how can we improve our life? How will life become better? And what will they achieve who truly strive for good asha? It is asha sepanto. So for good asha. And the answer is, those who strive for good asha, consequently, all will achieve guardianship of life improving thoughts flowing from wisdom. So basically, he says, how will life improve? What will they do? Strive for good asha? What will they achieve? He says they will discover and invent improving, life improving ideas with wisdom, flowing from wisdom. Now, what's wrong with this? It's truth, it is a fact. Zarathustra is telling us that if you ask me how to improve life, this is how you improve it. There's no need to jumble up the words. Uh, Now we'll read the Kangaji's translation. Firdosh, please.
Okay, the Ha 44.2 is as follows. Do thou tell me truly that which I ask thee. By now you should know that this portion of the beginning is very much the same in all these Ha's. O our Muslim, how or what is the origin of the best life? In what way should we accrue benefit? You may acknowledge both these words. O heavenly Aura Mazda, thou thyself art indeed bountiful through righteousness, and keeping far away from evil from all of us, and friend in both the worlds.
Now, again, in this word, the blue words are not there. The word evil is not there. Both the worlds, it's nothing about that in the Avesta text, but these have been added. As I said, it has been paraphrased to bring to their own understanding. Now, I'll go to 44.3. This is a 21st and 22nd century knowledge that Zarathustra was giving 3,000 years ago. It says, that you ask, truly I say, creation no one gave birth to. Father of Ashya in the beginning was none. Sun and stars set the path, through whom moon's waxing and waning comes. These all wisdom tells me, and other things that I know. So it has not come through revelations. This is my wisdom, and this is what it's telling me. The very important word over here is the word in red, the kasna. Uh, as I showed you before, uh, Taraporwala has made it very clear. The common thing that they have done is they have said that the S is silent, so remove the S, and the Na is missing an R, so it becomes K and Nar. They've taken the liberty of changing it. Kenar. And Kenar means what person, what being. But Kasna is a word we are using even today, and it means no one. And today we know that the creation, the earth, has not been created, it is evolved, not in the sense, it's an argument between creation and evolution, which we are very familiar with. And Zarathustra was, I suppose, the first one who proposed the evolution theory. And even his teachings are evolutionary, teaches us how to progress towards perfection. So here it clearly says that creation no one gave birth to. Kasna Zanta. Zanta is Zode. We even say today Zode. And Pata Ashya Puryo Kasna. Father of Ashya in the beginning was none. Sun and stars set the path through whom moon's waxing and waning comes. These all wisdom tells me and other things that I know. So basically, it's the theory of evolution versus creation. And these are facts that we know today, but I understand why they changed it, the way they changed it, because 200 years ago, when this was translated, if they had said this, we would not be alive today, or we would not be Zartushis at least. You couldn't say this 200 years ago. Even today, your question is a big argument between creation and evolution. And I understand why they made changes. And we should be grateful to them for having made that changes, and we are still here. Firdaus, please.
Next is 44.3. Do thou tell me truly that which I asked thee, O Aura Mazda. Who was the creator and father of righteousness in the beginning? Who determined the path of the sun and of the stars? Who is there other than thee, through whom the moon waxes and wanes? Reply, no one. O Aura Mazda, these as well as other things do I wish to know.
So here it is, at least Kangaji has used the word kasna once. There are two kasnas, he has used one of them and turned it around. Like I said, today is Sunday, is today Sunday. And he has at least used one kasna in a different form. But this is a fact which today everybody is discussing, evolution or creation, and I think Zartush was the first person who mentioned evolution. Now 44.4, next one, Abdullah. That you ask, truly I say, in creation nobody holds the earth down and the sky from falling down. Who water and plant, who wind and dark clouds impart swiftness? No one. Good creation, wisdom brings about through thoughts. Again, this is a very interesting, uh, there were theories before that basically Zarathustra is talking against those theories that were there. The Often, can we have the next slide? The Aryans believed that the earth was carried by 4 elephants who were standing on the back of a turtle who was sitting on a snake, and the snake formed a circle and held the sky in place. Similarly, they believe that the gods blew things around. So basically, here this was the theory that existed in the Aryan system, and Zarathustra is talking about this, that no, nobody is holding the sky up, nobody is holding the earth. And if you see the next picture, that is Atlas, uh, the Greek theory that God Atlas is holding the earth from falling down. And up in the next slide, and this is the gods blowing uh, the wind and the clouds and all that, and that is the Greek sort of belief. So the Greek and the Aryans, it's the same, somebody's blowing, but here's Zarathustra saying that nobody is blowing it. There's no person blowing it. It is nature, it is a system, it is doesn't need somebody to blow. So I'll read the thing once again now that you've seen this. That you ask, truly I say, in creation nobody holds the earth down and the sky from falling down. Who water and plant, who wind and dark clouds impart swiftness? No one. Good creation, wisdom brings about through thoughts. So this makes sense. I don't see anything wrong with it. And we today know that there's no turtle, there is no snake holding the sky. Uh, Firdaus, can you please read the next one?
Yes, the next ha that we are continuing from the Uttavaiti Gatha is 44.4. Do thou tell me truly that which I asked thee, O Aura Mazda. Who is the supporter of the earth and the sky from falling down? Who created waters and plants? Who bestowed swiftness to the wind and the clouds? Who, Aura Mazda, is the creator of the good mind?
Of course, if he had just used the word kasna, which is in that verse, uh, it would have solved the problem because it says kasna twice. Uh, but they have dropped that word as it was requested by uh, one of the scholars. Now we go to the next one, 44.7. This is a very important thing, verse, because it will relate to the next one also. Tatva porse, that you ask, Arash Moivaja, truly I say, creation is reverent, in creates good laws and righteousness, is worthy of use with prudence. Remember this line, it's worthy of use with prudence. That son for father is admirable, who in sincerity strives with wisdom and good thoughts for everything that he achieves. So basically, it tells us that in creation is reverent. It creates good laws and righteousness. So all the laws that you want to live a happy life is there in nature. Go explore it and use it and learn from it. And then he gives an example. That son for father is admirable, who in sincerity strives with wisdom and good thoughts for everything that he achieves. So in the first part he explains, and in the second part he gives an example. So nature is reverent, the laws of nature are good, and so we should use it with foresight. This is important. All the laws are in nature to live a happy life. All that you need is to learn from nature with wisdom and good thoughts. Now, as I said, that line about it's worthy of use with prudence, we'll see in the next verse also. Firdaus, please.
Okay, the next verse is 44.7. Do thou tell me truly that which I asked thee, O Aura Mazda. Who fashioned the agreeable Almighty together with her exalted status? Who made son beloved to the Father through his far-sightedness or wisdom? Matters I wish to know from thee, O bountiful, invisible Aura Mazda, the creator of the entire world.
So the whole narrative has changed. It is all a question, while in the other one, we have a direct uh, direct information that all you want is in nature, use it. And he has given an example of a father. a son who is admirable because he follows those laws. Now this is the final verse, and I don't know how to say it, but I will skip that. Now let's see how these wrong beliefs or religions came about. Why are all religions different, although all of them claim allegiance to a single God and claim that God has given these laws to the prophets? So here's the verse where how religion comes into being. That there was wisdom from the beginning. And this means that there was wisdom in nature. There's wisdom, all the wisdom that you want is in nature. And communities created laws or religion with their thoughts and intelligence. Then to the framework was given life through action and guidance, and thus a belief of the choice they created. Isn't that right? Is there anything wrong with that? It is a fact that is being stated of how religion was created by people using their thoughts and intelligence, and with their action and guidance, with punishment and rewards, they gave life to those beliefs. Otherwise, from the beginning, there was wisdom in creation, the laws of nature, and they covered everything. And all we had to do is follow them. We saw that in the previous verse that good laws exist in nature and we have to use it with prudence. But we made our own laws, many of which are against laws of nature, and we called it religion and enforced it by action and guidance, sending people to heaven and hell and telling them how to pray, when to pray. Also, this answers the question that we usually have. Why are all religions different, although all of them claim allegiance to a single God? Because communities made laws, not God. The laws that we follow in religion. I'll read the verse once again. That there was wisdom from the beginning, and communities created laws with their thoughts and intelligence. Then to the framework was given life through action and guidance, and thus a belief of the choice they created. Okay, Firdaus, can you please read?
Sure. This is the Ha 31.11, which actually is now from the Aunavaiti Gatha, the first one. Before I go into it, I want to clarify for all of us to please understand that what I am doing is from the book Gatha Bamani, transliterated and translated into English. This translation comes from the earlier Gujarati version by Professor Edward Manek Pardunji Kanga, which is now done by Edward Kavasji Hidalji Kanga. I don't know exactly what their relationship is, but I believe it probably is from the same family. So I want you to understand that what I'm reading today in English is something that comes from a translation in Gujarati, which comes from another language. So every time we have this linguistic changes into translations, there is a possibility of the author having bringing in his or her views into the issue of translation, which Faribos is trying to explain to us in depth of understanding of the earlier original words. So here is the translation of 31.11. O our Master, when thou first didst make with thy power of thought the entire living things and laws for them, thou didst bestow upon us corporeal life and wisdom. Along with these also, thou ordained us the power to work and commandments of the religion, towards which act and commandments of the religion, our wish and our faith or choice may be fixed. And he explains, thou didst bestow upon us strength and wisdom in order to fulfill whatever may be our wish for doing the act and whatever may be our faith on the commandments of the religion.
So basically here it says that religion was created by God. The words that are in religion, the laws of the religion are from God. And word by word, when we translate, not moving any word, I'll read that once again. That there was wisdom from the beginning, and communities created laws with their thoughts and intelligence. Then to the framework was given life through action and guidance, and thus a belief of their choice they created. I hope I made my point. Although the word by word translation is very clear and makes complete sense, it is not in line with the general belief system of the Abrahamic Greek thinking, or rather, it is even blasphemous. So, translation did us a favor and changed it. Remember, Jesus Christ, the recipient of the three gifts, said, I and the Father are one. He was stoned and later crucified for such thoughts. So basically, we should thank the translators who 200 years ago changed all this. But I think that now is the time that we can go to the word by word. And today, a lot of people think in the same line. So we have an audience for it. No one will crucify us, no one will stone us. I will end over here, and if there are questions, related questions, you're welcome to unmute and ask.
There is a question that have this translation published as a book, and then where they can buy it. I spoke with Mr. Fibers and asked him, please, Mr. Fibers, let's make a book of your translation and publish it. I guess Fibers is working on it. Fibers, you can explain more about that.
It's an ongoing process. I am working on it. I've done a few verses, few hours, and not done all of it. It has to be done very methodically, otherwise, because it's different from the rest, I'll be hanged. So give me time. But what I have translated, most of it is on my website. So if you go to gathas.ca, you will find most of it. But I have to work on it methodically so as to, it's different. You see, it is very different. It's, you just can't publish and run away. You have to stand behind it.
No, but you know, from long time ago, I asked you, please publish your translation. They are very
Sure.
important and they are very, very accurate and very pleasant, simple to understand for everybody.
For now, it's on the website. You can have a look at it and use it.
Thank you.
Mr. Anuman, thank you very much for today's presentation. It was very enlightening. I've got a few questions over here. I'm going to read them out, comments that I'm going to read out too, and then you can choose if they are related